Is Hal Gill live, and I'm your host of Harrowings. My Substack's called Harrowings because life itself is harrowing. Not for me so much. Life is kind of like a big, comfy palace of, um, protection. Even though we're sitting here right at the intersection of Florida and Connecticut Avenues, watching the passing show go by, I'm going to walk down there to the corner probably. I just parked the car. My neighbor's Tesla's in there driving on the street. He has two of them. Nice house he's got there. He's lived there, I think, forever. Long as we have. We've been here 15 years. His crepe myrtles are just outstanding, right? Particularly this red one. Summer in the city. Back of my neck's getting something gritty. I can't remember the name. Loving Spoonful. Look it up. Anyway, we're looking down that street. You can see some of the architecture, the hodgepodge that is this vibrant community in DuPont Circle, north of the circle itself. There's a guy going down there blasting his music off of his three-wheeler. And yeah, it's just a good life. You can see the kinds of vehicles people are running around in. There are many and varied. Here comes somebody scooting up that street, running too fast. But, that's all right. We're going to let him speed by. Live and let live. It's my motto, one of them. Every cent spent, smoked. For the kind of world we are co-creating. I can't say it often enough or loud enough that we need to be mindful about what we're doing and how we're doing it. The only thing that the society tends to respond to is money, which is a type of energy. It's also a fantasy of value on which we agree. Folks paid for their tickets for that airplane going up over 21st Street now. It's following its route up from National Airport to wherever it's going. People walk through the viewfinder. People roll down Florida Avenue. Nissan Maxima, I think, has come to a complete stop as the Connecticut Avenue traffic is moving down. You know, I don't know. I just know how things seem to me. And by having that attitude, I keep my eyes open. I keep looking. I keep myself speculating about, do I understand what's going on here? I don't even understand why these pylons are in the middle of the road. But they've been doing construction in the area. We're having some electrical problems down on 22nd Street substation in Petco. I'm not even sure what it is, but they keep blacking us out every day, it seems. I don't think I lost power on Saturday, but some people did. And we definitely lost it on Thursday morning, which was quite jarring to us. That was when it first became apparent that we had a problem. We'd never lost power here in the 15 years I've lived here. But, there's a lot of strain on the power systems because, it's hot. A lot of people are trying to keep cool. And an unreliable power system in the nation's capital is kind of telling. So that's a little raw journalism for you. You got Tom Robbins and Voices of Inspiration. I actually put that book there. And looks like some of the other things have been picked up. You can always find things in the little free library. Mica Biblioteca Gratuita, which is provided by the Romanians of DC. I love that. Romanian is the language spoken in Moldova, and this is the Embassy of Moldova, next door neighbors. Across the street, there's the Embassy of Albania. Up the block, you can just see the Embassy of Costa Rica. It's easy to travel internationally. If you'd like to be my neighbor, the penthouse is for sale for my building here. It's nice, but it is also gutted at the moment. So you would have to have a lot of work done to it to finish the interior. But you could do anything with it, really, as it is kind of ripped to the framing. Kind of a mess. It was owned by a lady who had a lot to say about how we did things and the homeowners association. I've distanced myself from that for some time. I pay my dues and I want my peace and quiet. And my neighbors want their peace and quiet. This courtyard is surveilled. Ring camera. My upstairs neighbor keeps going. I can sit in the garden here, just a little oasis, and have all that passing show outside. That's one of the best things about living here. Damn lucky. We bought it the low part after the big financial crisis and the prices were being lowered. The my woman who lived here, she was retiring, I guess, from her DC work and fallen to my neighbor Gracie, who takes care of mostly, I think, and the neighbors overall. I don't do much. Although Lynn and I did plant some, and Lynn did the planting of some herbs, and there's that drangea you can see down there. Yeah, down there at the end. Yeah, see a little bit of my door and then Gracie's door of her 3-story section. This what place here is foundation. From time to time. My neighbors downstairs are newer and they're really nice. They have a couple of dogs. I think they're away right now. It looks pretty dark. I'm going to go inside and cool off, have something to drink. Lynn and I have been out shopping, and I'm just sort of chilling, just taking it easy and hoping for the best while fearing for the worst as our political circus goes on in Washington, D.C. I'll be here filming the passing show, doing raw journalism, who, what, when, and where. And it's primary documentation from my limited and distorted perspective. And I'm aware of that. So, I'm looking forward to your comments as well. Tell me what you think. Whoops. Sort of dropped the phone there a little bit. Sorry. And then back joined. Geraldine, I Lost Vibes 100 joined. We've had Avery Gregurich here, the invisible caretaker, and Brent David McLaughlin. Guys, if you are watching and listening, I'm doing interviews randomly. You can just hit me up. You want to come on live with me and we talk what we want to talk about, however long you want to talk about it. You may have picked up my interview with Skip Healy. Harrowing's podcast Skip Healy is the title of that one. And Skip and I talked for 2 hours and 45 minutes, easy, just about. And he's in Switzerland. He's known as the America's, he's the world's greatest fifer, according to Yankee Magazine, and a flute maker, and a great raconteur. We had a wonderful time talking. That's why it went 2 hours, 45 minutes. He's just a blast and so full of knowledge. Just a little bit older than I am. We both came up the fife and drum, the different routes. He was with the Kinnish Guards initially as an 8-year-old, and now he's about 68, I think, or something like that. What else do I want to say about that? He's been Grammy nominated for Empty Pockets, and he's definitely pushing the envelope and helping us all grow in the field of woodwind performance, fifing and drumming, Swiss origins. They were using flags to signal, but gunpowder came along and couldn't see the flags for all the smoke. So fife and drum communicated on the field of battle. And one of the things that Skip told me about, which I think is just fascinating, is the Swiss were famous for putting together their units and marching on their enemies and slaughtering everyone. So it was fair warning when you heard the fife and drum a coming to either leave or die, because the Swiss were going to wipe you out. That's why the Vatican has the Swiss Guards. I expect most of you know about that. Anyhow, what else do I want to talk about? Well, I had Lisa on some time ago, about May, I think. Well, it's been a while. Maybe it's April. Might have even been March. I started again doing these things in March, April, May. And I took a little hiatus in May and June primarily, and then got back on with Skip. At first, I was waiting for Skip, and then he had an order come in from the Danish royal family to get the Danish royal band some fifes, and also the old guard. He supplies them, the 3rd Infantry Division of the American government, and he's living in a fairly small town in Switzerland, not far from, oh gosh, Lucerne. I think it's just a little north of Lucerne, not too far. I spent some time in Switzerland, so we could share notes on that in a totally different context. What else I want to talk about really quickly? Because I don't want mosquitoes to eat me alive. Um, there's another interview out there with Lisa Joy Glassman, I think, maybe on Substack. I'm not sure. And then we were talking about her idea for amplified healing. And hi, the Bold Insight is joined, and Earl Brownlee is joined. Good to have you. Thank you for joining. Um, the other Harrowings podcasts are out there. You just go Harrowings podcast, and then they'll all come up. I usually just then tag whoever the guest was. Jay Venera was on with me on Saturday. It's just a blast talking to her about all things related to philosophy. Qualia, talking a lot about subjective experience from a psychological standpoint. She's a very interesting person, and we're looking forward to talking to her again. Then I've got some others coming up, but we'll see if those float before I start announcing them. They are scheduled, so those schedulings have been blasted out to my followers. I'd like to have more followers. One of the things we can do to help each other out that I hope that everyone will think about doing is amplifying each other. Tag a note, um, you know, restack, all those things. And they got to help each other out. And that's about it. Be the change you want to see in the world. Every cent spent, vote for the kind of world we are co-creating. And thank you for joining us. If you ever find yourself in Washington, D.C., and can find this little nook, come by, knock on the lion door knocker here. And I probably won't let you in because I stay in the bunker. And yeah, you don't want to try me necessarily without telling me first you're coming. But if you are, I love playing tour guide. So think about it and be the change. Okay. And that hit the end button.